Hey everyone, welcome back to an episode of Life with MaryAnn and Joe, and today we're going to start our fall inspiration series, and I'm going to be doing 3 different mantles for you today, and they're all going to be kind of simple. So I know it's early, it's only August, but I know you're looking for inspiration and scratching your heads for what you're going to do. So let's take a look at what I'm going to do on this mantle here in the music room today. Okay, so P.S. You don't really need a mantle because you can do the same thing on a table, on a side table. So don't feel bad if you don't have a mantle. And why don't you have a mantle? You can build one. I built this. That's not real. So it's really easy to do. You can do it. And if you find a space, you can make a focal point in your room and you can have your dreams come true with a fireplace and a mantle. Okay, here we go. Let's get started. Okay, so my plans are that I'm going to do at least 6 different mantles for you that you might find some inspiration from. Now, you don't have to recreate it exactly, but it might spark an interest for you in something that you might be able to do in your own house. So in this video, I'm going to try to do 3 simple ones for you. And then the next video, I'll do more, and then I might do more. I don't know. I'm just going to keep on going until I run out of some of ideas. Now, today's is going to be on, like I said, on the simple side, because MaryAnn always says to me that sometimes I go overboard and I make things too complicated, and it's difficult for people to recreate that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to be as simple and as easy as I possibly can. Okay, so here's the first one. Take a candle holder, and I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to take a pumpkin, and I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to take another pumpkin like this, and I'm going to put it over here. And I'm going to take another pumpkin, and I'm going to put it like that. Ta-da! That's done. Now, I'm just kidding. But people do that on YouTube, and they get 1 million hits. Me, I don't do that, and I don't get any views. But anyway, let me really get started. That's a yoke. Okay, so let's try to do something. Now, just because it's simple doesn't mean that it can't be dramatic. And that's what we're going to go for, right? Drama. So I'm going to use this vessel here. It's very similar to this tile that I have on the fireplace here. So I'm going to start that as my base. Now it's elongated, so it gives me the opportunity to like spill out on each side. And the way I'm going to do that is with leaves. So I'm going to, let's see what leaves I want to use. I have these picks from the Dollar Zone, which are great, love them. And I'm going to start here on the end, and I'm going to bend it down like this because I want it to kind of look like it's flopping out on both sides. So we're going to do that on both sides first. Okay, and I'm going to stop talking because I'm probably going to speed this section up. Yes, so I just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, stepping away, adding, and taking a look at what I'm doing. And it always looks different when I step away than when I'm right on top of it. So don't forget to do that. It's really important because you get a really different view when you walk away from the thing. Okay, so before I put any more leaves in there, I think I should try to get some pumpkins in there. And it's going to be on the traditional side, okay? We're working on tradition here. And I think we almost have 1 million pumpkins. These adjustments. Okay, so here is the first simple mantle. There is that piece, and you can see what I did was I have the leaves cascading out. I put them around the back as well, and then I cascaded down in the front. And if you notice, I used a little bit different leaf here. I wanted to incorporate a little bit of the green. This was very, very orange, a little bit of green, and then I also added some green and yellow to cut that that oh so much orange. And then I just piled those pumpkins up there. And then at each end, I used a wooden candlestick to pick up the wood tones in the room with the candle and another pumpkin. And that is simple and dramatic. Let me know if you like this one. Let me know in the comments. And I'm gonna do 2 more as well. And you know what? I'm thinking also tell me what you might think you might want to see me do. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but give me an idea. Okay, so here is our first simple mantle. I think it's dramatic and I think it's really pretty. If I was going to keep this as my fall mantle, I might put some fairy lights in there. P.S. Okay? Okay, so orange isn't everybody's cup of tea. So I cleared it off and let's try something. How about green and white? How about that? Want to try that? Let's see how that looks. Might as well, right? Let's go. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to do my trick of, I have a board here that I cut to the exact same size of my mantle. And the reason that I do that is because I can put this up there and then I can sink nails in this if I need it to hold stuff and I'm not ruining, my mantle that I have. So get a board, cut it to the size that of your mantle, and then you can, nail in it and do stuff. Now the board has to be kind of heavy in order to hold, especially for somebody like me who had so much stuff that, it can fall down. Sometimes I even have to put a little brace on each end to keep it in place, but I'm not gonna have to do that this time. But anyway, I want to let you know, so I'm starting with this first. Okay, because I'm so nice and honest all the time, I want to show you exactly what you may need. You may need one of these in order to keep that board secured to your mantle, depending on how heavy you're going to put stuff up there. This is very simple, right? This just unwinds right here, and then what you would do is you would just put it at each end. Now, it'll get hidden with the stuff that you put on there, so you don't have to worry about seeing it, okay? The one I chose right here is a little bit, this one is too small. I have to go get a bigger one in the garage. But anyway, this is what happens. You put it on there and then you just tighten it and it'll hold it nice and shut. So I have to get ones that fit for me. Okay, so after securing your board onto your mantle, you either can put something heavy on top of it, or if the board is heavy enough, like the one I have in family room was really heavy, or you can use the clips like I showed you. The next thing is to sink some finishing nails in. Now these are very fine nails. Now for this demonstration, I only put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like if it was Christmas time, I probably have like 15 because I put so much stuff and I want to make sure it stays secure, because command strips do not work for me. They makes the stuff fall down. And I had other techniques like using bricks and so on, but I found this to be most beneficial and most easy. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually put a piece of Christmas garland here so I can use it as my base so I can stick things in. Okay, so here's my piece of Christmas garland and I secured it to those nails. I just wrapped one of these branches around there and I secured it. I'm not fluffing it because we really don't want to see it. It's not Christmas time. All right, so I think I want to add some height on here, and I'm going to use this, 2 of these. I'm doing a symmetrical one again here. Look how great that looks with that. And I'm going to use these to create height on the mantle. Okay, so what I did to add height was I used these sticks. Now, I could have used branches, but I only had branches with orange leaves on them, so I chose to use these sticks. It gives more of, I think, of a modern look. And I just softened the bottom a little bit with some of that, that lime kind of green. I might add a little bit more, but I have to see first what I'm going to do in the front. Next, I'm choosing to use this white vessel right here. And I kind of tilted it a little bit forward to make it look like the things are spilling out of it. Okay, so these are those Dollar Tree pumpkins. They're usually orange. Sometimes they're white. So what I did was I bought a bunch of those. I painted them a deeper color orange because they're way too bright. Some of them I painted green. Some of them I painted white. Some of them I painted burgundy. In fact, some of them I used to make peppermint candies from my Christmas decorations. But anyway, this is one of those pumpkins, and you see I painted it green, and I added some white highlights. And then I took a branch from the yard, and I just hot glued it on here to make it look like a better stem. And then in order for it to stay where I want it to stay, what I do is I use a piece of floral wire, and you see I just stick it right in there, and then it'll hang where I want it to. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add in some pumpkins along the way here, and then I will adjust them as I go along. But I think I'm going to put these 2 candle holders in first. And I'm going to use those same ones that I used in the prior one, because I feel like it looks more rustic kind of a looking. And I think I want it here, closer to the mirror this time. Okay, like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to add in more of these, green and white pumpkins along the way. I think that needs to go there. So I have to, here's the floral wire. For those of you who don't know me, this is a good friend during the holidays or anytime I'm decorating, because it will allow me to attach a lot of things together. Okay, so this one I think this one I want more in the front, like this. And you can manipulate it a little bit. You know, it's kind of like painting a picture. You have to, it takes time. And, you know, I know a lot of people think that it happens without any problems. And that is certainly not the case. Because I assure you, a lot of times, even what you see on YouTube, people are testing it out before they actually video it. And I usually don't do that. I'm trying to be honest with you and show you my frustrations that I usually go through. You know, I think it's more realistic. You know, I remember when I used to watch, you know, home improvement shows, and they would get everything done. You know, they'd have the whole house done in a 30-minute show, and I'd be thinking to myself, oh, geez, why is it taking me so long? Okay, I'm yapping too much. All right, let me finish this. All right, so here's where I'm at so far, and now I have to put some, you know, the greenery in there to cover that garland. But you see how neat that the garland with the floral wire allows the pumpkins to look like they're just like, you know, carefree sitting there, but they're all really secure. Another trick you can use, by the way, is if you want a pumpkin like this to be attached to that one, and you don't want, you can't use the floral wire, you can actually use a toothpick that will pull the two of them together. And I didn't do that this time because, again, it's coming right down, but probably if I was going to leave it, I would do that. Okay, so I'm just going to stick some greenery in here to hide the garland and to make it look like, you know, a pumpkin patch, a lot of leaves and things like that. But again, I'm not using reds or oranges or yellows here. I'm keeping it in the green and the white family. So, and I'm using a lot of celery green as well. So it has more of, I guess it's considered a modern look, or just a look that when people don't like orange. Okay, so what you're going to see now is the pumpkins in the back was starting to get lost. So what I did was
I used 2 glasses as risers in order to raise those pumpkins up to a different level. Now, often I will use glasses, I'll use books, I use, those glass candles, the what the candles come in order to raise things up. Because what happens is if you just do everything really flat, it has nowhere for your eye to move, and it becomes very boring, and people will not even look at it. So you want to create some interest, and you can do that through leveling, and you can do that through texture, and of course you can do that through color. So because this is very kind of monotonous in that it is just white and green, I try to add interest by adding various textures and again the various levels. So also, this is not going to be my mantle for the fall, but if it was, I would most likely add in some white mini lights as well. Or you could add in the fairy lights. That little bit of twinkling makes everything so magical. So I'm just about almost done with this.
And here's number 2. This one has a very different kind of a vibe. It's, obviously there's no orange. For people that don't like orange, you can use, variety of colors, the white and the green. And I chose to use that celery green, the hydrangea, I think it's called the wedding hydrangea, and also some flowers that sometimes, a lot of times I'll use them as for the spring. And I added in some eucalyptus as well. So there is the second version of a mantle. You like this one? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so I cleared that away. Joe's getting tired. I'm going to do my last one for tonight anyway. So I think I'm going to try a more elegant look. Yeah, I guess we can call it that. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to start by putting the lamps up here first. Right, so first thing is I put these 2 candlestick lamps up here, and if you don't know me, if you just stumbled on me, I paint these out for all the different holidays. Like they actually made them into peppermint candies last year for Christmas. But anyway, when I did the frame around this mirror, I used a bronze spray, and then I washed it over with some gold. And I did the same thing on these lamps, so they all coordinate together. So I think that'll give it, and it goes well with that. So I think already it's going to give it an elegant look. Next, I'm going to use this urn. It's not exactly the same color paint, and that is fine, but it does have gold tones to it. Okay, everybody, so that was number 3. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed this whole video today with these 3 mantles, and I'm going to do more. I'll do some more mantles for you to give you some more inspiration. Let me know what you might want to see. If I have it, I might be able to put it together. Okay, buddy, thanks for stopping by. A thumbs up is greatly appreciated. I'm trying to break this algorithm so I can get more views. I greatly appreciate it. If you leave a comment also, it helps with that algorithm. I don't know how, but it does. All right, everybody, take care. I'll be seeing you really soon. Bye-bye.